One, two. I haven't got my trousers on. Before he was Bond, Daniel Craig had his big breakthrough role in former Guy Ritchie producer Matthew Vaughan's 2004 movie Layer Cake, along with Sienna Miller and the young Sally Hawkins and a cast of other gangsters.
Shut up.
She's off her head, she's a cokehead.
But this is no stale cake. In fact, it helped to define the British gangster movie for the next 2 decades. You can get the movie in a tin case with Lock, Stock and Snatch, the 2 aforementioned Guy Ritchie pictures that Vaughan produced, but you might want to get the 2-disc set or the Blu-ray for the special features, because this is a movie you're going to come back to. Much has been made of the fact that Sienna Miller isn't in the film for very much of its 1 hour 40-minute runtime, or the fact that there ultimately isn't a happy ending in the movie. But these are nitpicks, because this is a quality production, as well as featuring a vintage Michael Gambon performance as one of the many villains, which would be worth watching on its own, and a yellow Range Rover. There are 3 or 4 really good helicopter shots in the movie that really elevate the tone. This is before drone shots were a thing, remember, as well as some clever visual symbolism that emphasises the respective roles of the characters. Craig's nameless protagonist meets Temple on the roof of a skyscraper that's being built, for example, while the elevators going up and down could represent their respective positions in the gangster hierarchy. Patrick Willems, YouTube movie critic, recently did a long-form video about the genre of vibes movies that seems to have become a thing at this time. Perhaps it's just the loud music, low attention span, high energy of the PlayStation generation, but I think this movie falls into that category. There's clearly influence here from Miami Vice to Tarantino, but there's no MacGuffin like in Pulp Fiction, as everything is clearly defined and laid out for you. You even get to see the Duke's head in a box cooler towards the end of the movie. The message here being that the movie gives things to you straight up, shows you exactly how it all works. Even if it seems like a glamorous lifestyle at first, it ultimately makes you really glad that you don't have to deal with all the attendant shit Daniel Craig went through. I haven't read J.J. Connolly's book from which he adapted the screenplay, but I suspect the themes are largely the same. A gangster who's made it to the top of a corrupt society tells us how he got there and the lessons he learned along the way. Some people didn't like the ending. I know that some alternate endings were shot, which you can see on the DVD extras, but the one they went with ultimately works, because the moral of the story here is that the gangster lifestyle catches up with you eventually, whatever you do.
Shut up.
Couldn't leave this behind.
Greenies.
You are in the wrong game, mate.